It's BBC Hereford and Worcester. It's Malcolm Boyden. If you're clock watching the clock, it's 9 minutes past 12, but you don't have to. I'm just trying to help. And it is March the 2nd, also known as World Book Day. Oh. It's a day that's all... Don't be like that, Malcolm. It's a day that's all about sharing the joy of reading, which is a good thing. But in more recent times, it's become synonymous with dressing up the young ones as their favourite characters and sending them off to school. Harry Potter, mostly. The children seem to enjoy it, but what about the parents? Anyway, more on that to come. First, here's BBC Hereford and Worcester's Kelly Price, who's been to speak to children at Oldbury Park Primary School about their favourite books.
Harry lay flat on his back, breathing hard as though he had been running. He had awoken from a vivid dream with his hands pressed over his face. The old scar on his forehead, which was shaped like a lightning bolt scar, was burning beneath his fingers. My favourite books are probably Harry Potter, because they're really cool. My favourite book's The Hobbit, because I like it because it's a quest.
A foxtrot for chickens, laughed Larry. That's genius. I could stream it on my YouTube channel, added Harry, who was far more interested in computers than animals. I bet it goes viral. Charlie shook her head. Her brothers certainly had imagination, if not much common sense.
My favourite is the ice monster because Elsie is an orphan and she finds the ice monster, which is actually a woolly manor.
My favourite book comic is Abina, because they always make me laugh.
Oh, beautifully done and beautifully read as well. It is lovely listening to the children getting into books and reading books. I've got no problem with that. But have you ever met a parent who enjoys World Book Day? Nah! It seems the joke's always been the children tell you about it at the last minute, then you scrabble around for a makeshift costume. Send them in anything. This year we've heard about a number of schools doing things differently. Taking a T-shirt to decorate, going in pyjamas with a blanket for a bedtime story, or taking to school an object and everybody's got to guess what the book is based upon your object. I think that's great, that last one. And of course some of this is linked to the cost of living crisis. We can't all afford fancy costumes from the fancy dress shop. But overall, it's a great way to engage children with reading it. So we're stuck here. We need help, and we've got help. It's my favourite, Sue Atkins. She's a parenting expert and former teacher. Hello, Sue.
Hello.
Firstly, has World Book Day had its day in terms of children dressing up?
Oh, goodness, I don't want to do that. Bash them. They'll tell me off because reading is so important, isn't it? But it is that dilemma, isn't it, between the kids that forget to tell you, or they have the letter at the bottom of the bag and you discover it the night before and you go, oh my God, what are we going to send them in? I mean, the main thing is it's about reading and stories and reading with your kids and listening to your kids little and often. And that gets a bit lost with all that competitive, oh my goodness, look, you're the best Harry Potter. There's a meme that goes around actually where there's two kids, one's holding a hairdryer and the other's holding a toaster, because the mother panicked and just said, oh, they've come as the Argos catalogue. And I just thought, yes, it's a bit inventive.
See, I like that. And I know reading's really important, but surely there must be more imaginative ways of getting our children to read rather than just dressing up. We've had enough of that now, haven't we? That's old hat. That's what I think. Anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, well, in a way, and what you were saying there, the different ways that schools and parents and teachers are sort of thinking about it, I think was really nice, bringing in an object and talking about it, or here's a white T-shirt, let's decorate it. It's about conversations, and I've got the Sue Atkins Book Club. I started it in the pandemic to help, lesser-known authors, actually, with, connecting to parents who don't know about their wonderful books. And so for me, it is about sort of raising awareness of the importance of reading, all different types. In fact, I posted a blog yesterday about graphic novels, because parents don't often know, what's that? Is that a comic? But actually, there's an awful lot behind a graphic novel because it's more picture-based. And so for reluctant readers, particularly boys, sorry about that, it gets them engaged in reading. And that's what it's actually all about, not the costumes, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned.
And then there's the cost of the costumes, which is really important in these days.
Well, of course, because now everybody is really, everything is really difficult for families. And, they're really stressed and they're really anxious and really worried about other things other than, oh, let's get you another outfit or let's find something in the sock cupboard that you can wear. So the idea of keeping it simple has always appealed to me anyway.
Does there even have to be a day? Because this is an ongoing thing, isn't it? It doesn't have to be that children read a book today and then forget about it for a year. It's a bit like Valentine's Day. You buy your flowers on the 14th of Feb and that's it.
Yeah, but I think it's linked to, the Book Trust and to charities that are raising awareness generally throughout the year. And like everything, if you have a day, then it does create a bit of buzz, and it creates a bit of awareness. And of course, they give, vouchers to go and have a pound off a book. Which is really, really helpful for parents, struggling. But also I'm here to bang the drum for libraries. I volunteer in the library actually doing rhyme time, singing nursery rhymes and things to babies and toddlers every Friday. So I'm keen. I'm really keen for kids to be exposed to stories and books and singing and rhymes. That's what's really important. And don't get sucked in, to that kind of... There's an image that I've posted on my Twitter feed, actually. It's from Motherload, where, there's a smug mother in a fur coat going, oh, did you forget it was World Book Day? And, the Motherload character looked absolutely distraught, going, clearly she had forgotten. So, there's a joke going around about that. You've got to find that balance, haven't you, really?
You've done a blog on this, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I mean, why it's important to read to your kids. I put it even on LinkedIn that says, has it been hijacked World Book Day by, all the stress around the costumes? But actually, if you read my blog, it's not heavy going or anything, but it gives you some ideas about why reading actually matters and why it improves a child's relationship with you, but it encourages them to be a lifelong learner. And also, reading improves concentration. And then you can access anything from bank accounts to news feeds to books to newspapers if you want to. So reading really is an important skill.
Brilliant. And keep it up with the book club. I like the idea of that. Sue, thank you for joining us.
Take care. See you soon.
She hits the nail on the head always, doesn't she? If you want to read Sue's blog, it's Sue Atkins Parenting Coach. All that is one word, SueAtkinsParentingCoach.com. And watch out for a book club as well. What do you think? World Book Day. The dressing up part, I suppose we've nailed this down to now, haven't we? Is that at its day? Are there other more imaginative ways of getting children into books? Because we all agree that's great. It's just getting them dressed up. It's BBC Hereford and Worcester. It's Malcolm Boyden. If you're clock watching the clock, it's 9 minutes past 12, but you don't have to. I'm just trying to help. And it is March the 2nd, also known as World